Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Heat Army podcast. Well, as I said, this is the rearranged show from last Thursday. Apologies that we weren't on. I had a house full of sickness and diarrhea. Thankfully, not me, but it was the children, so we had to knock it back till today. Obviously, lots to talk about today. Daly and Jevons, their loan deal has ended. We'll talk about that. We're going to preview the South End game. Of course, we'll be talking about the Yeovil game as well. That has just gone. There's a food bank before the South End game, and there is also a quiz night at It's a Bowling Green with Tom Allen doing the quiz on that. So we'll give more information on that a little bit later on. And also as well, you may have seen on social media, there was a bit of a hoo-ha after the result. And, I don't want anyone to say in the past that we don't let people have their vent. We always say that do it constructively. So if you want to have your vent, use the show tonight. Come on, let's if you want to get it out there, there's a lot of faceless people on Twitter who'll put their points out and things like that. But say it tonight and we'll have a constructive chat about it. And say any views that you've got, that nothing's out of bounds as long as you put it in the right context and manner. So there we go. So open forum. We haven't not got any bells and whistles tonight. We haven't got any footage to put up. We're going to have a bit of a chat and have it go further forward from there. Right. We'll start off with the loan deals that have just ended in Jevon Mills and Luke Daly returned to Hull and Huddersfield. The one thing you would say is both lads, this did okay. I was impressed with Daly. We've seen more of him on a consistent basis. Good left back. But of course, you've got Gallagher, whose loan was extended till the end of December, I think it was. So you've got cover in the left back department there. But Mickey, I'll ask you two questions here, and everyone else as well watching. Obviously, what do you think of the lads that were here and have gone now? But do you think that opens up the scope to bring in some reinforcements?
Where do you start? I thought Luke Daly was a good footballer, especially going forward. Jevon Mills is a good footballer as well. How do I say it? Without being disrespectful to the lad, it's maybe it's a jump a little bit too far at the minute. I'm not saying he won't be able to do it because I've seen enough, I thought, where he'd make a really good defender. As regards what is it, are they going to get more reinforcements? My thought would be to bring some of the loans back, especially Ryan Womble because he can play fullback.
Mm-hmm.
Elliot Forbes because he can play in the back four. The ongoing situation with Tom Allen, I'd like to see him back. I mean, we don't know what the story is regarding the structure of the loans. But to me, to let two go tells me that either someone's coming in or people are coming back.
Well, I mean, it's the the common consensus, isn't it? Looking at it, you think that would be the logical answer. So we'll see what happens in that space. For myself on Daly and Jevons, I think two, as you said, two fantastic young footballers. But when you're at the wrong end of the table and you're bringing young players in on loan, it worked fantastic for us over the past few seasons, but we were in a squad that was playing well, winning games, and I'm not going to say carry these footballers, but the flaws are maybe a little bit not so much on show when you're battling for your lives and having to dig deep a little bit, and get into some of these games. Sometimes these young lads don't swim straight away, and that's not to say they won't go on to have a fantastic career, probably more than likely in the Football League. But this is a time where we're battling. Let's be honest, we're battling. We're bottom of the league, and we just, I'd say, if we can bring a loan in, this is the time of year when players aren't getting games in the lower reaches of the Football League or even in the conference around us, where hopefully a loan works out for a player of a a bit more experience and works out for us as well. It's that time of year where players get frustrated, and hopefully Gateshead can use the loan market to exploit that.
Would like to think so. I'm not sure the budget will stretch that far.
Mm-hmm.
From an outsider looking in, um, the budget it's not gonna get experienced pros.
It isn't.
Um,
You never know. There might be one that's dying to get some game time, and agreements can be made. Fingers crossed, touch wood, or all that type of thing. But you mentioned before there about players to come back. There is a few players out on loan. Obviously, we know Connor Panny's at Morpeth. I think we're more than well covered in midfield, so I don't think that would be a logical move. But to bring back, let's say, Womble or Forbes, or even both, definitely gives more cover at the back, because in recent games we haven't even had a defender on the bench sometimes.
Yeah, it's injuries have hit hard. It was always going to be tough, but without Louis and Tinks,
Yeah.
it's made it even harder.
And of course, we lost Kenton Kenton Richardson for
Yeah,
a while as well. So hopefully we are starting to see players come back. That's the main thing, and we're still yet to see the likes of Lewis Knight as well. So hopefully he's not too far away, and we can get the likes of Adi Yusuf playing a full 90 minutes, Martin playing a full 90 minutes, and we see the best of them, because there was a patch in it. I can't remember which game it was, when we had three of them up front and they looked good and looked dangerous together. We were pushing forward, but it's got to level out somewhere, hasn't it? This injury crisis. We've got lots of messages coming in. Everyone,
Solihull won it.
Solihull, yeah. Hello, gents. Another disappointing display against Yeovil. The fans are really getting frustrated. I get why we don't have a. I don't get 1 second. Why we don't have a plan B for the squad is full of injuries. We need to change now. We've got another one there. It's going to be very tough against Southend. We'll get into that a little bit later on. I have every faith we will turn it around and stay up. This is based on blind faith and loyalty to the people who got us to this point, rather than based on evidence so far. Look, we've showed flashes. We've showed flashes in games. We've showed games where we've looked really good for 90 minutes, but just haven't got over the line with Drew. And obviously, I'm in that, not blind faith, but you look at that league table, it's so tight. 2 wins or a win and a draw, and you're practically out of it. So we need to knuckle down, but there's no easy games. We know that. But if we can get the likes of Tinks back, Story back, and maybe another experienced defender in there to help out, and Will Harris is starting to score goals. He's gaining in confidence, which can only be a good thing. And hopefully some of the other players can chip in as well, and we can start to climb up the league. And I didn't expect us to go in front down at Yeovil. We did. It wasn't for long, but the signs there, we are capable of doing it. We just need to shore it up at the back.
It's as soon as we concede. I've heard a few. I didn't listen to the game on Saturday. I wasn't
able to myself.
I was busy. I didn't listen to the game, which is so I read a lot of people's frustrations. One was that we seem to fall apart as soon as we concede. Which, to be honest, I have noticed myself as well.
Heads
confidence.
Dropped, yeah.
And the one thing I'm going to say here, and I'll say it, the last thing I want is Mike sacked. I do not want Mike Williamson to get the sack. The lad's learning in a higher league. People can say what the hell they want. I think Mike Williamson, even if we went down, I wouldn't sack Mike Williamson. Because this league, as we've said it from day one, we all have to be patient. And this league is incredibly tough. The budget hasn't been able to stretch to get even better players than what I think we've got. And sadly, this league is an unforgiving league. And if you've got kids like we've had, you can get found out rather sharpish.
Definitely.
It's been proved a long time before this season, Dave. You know it as well.
Yeah, we need to, as I say, we're gonna play a message from our sponsors and how to like and subscribe as well. As we're saying, open forum as every show is, but we want people to get it off the chests. As long as you put it in the right way, we'll do that. Put it out there. There has been a lot of things said. There's even things happened that I'm not going to go into that should never have happened on Saturday. And quite shocked, to be honest. But let's remember, as I say, you can have your say. If you think Mike Williamson isn't the man, you can say it, but say it in the right way. No swearing. Give evidence of why you think that's the case. Right? Let's put it out there constructively and properly. Now we're having a discussion here. And so we're going to do that, and we'll come back and see that, because I know people have just joined us as well. I've seen the numbers go up there. So if you want to send a message in, do it now. We'll be back just after these messages. And as I say, send in them whatever you think about what's going on. The Heat Army podcast needs your help. No, we don't need money. All we need is you to do one simple thing. It'll take less than a second. If you could hit that like button, the subscribe button, and share whatever post that we put up regarding Gator Football Club, it'll go a long way in helping the show build and ultimately helping us push the club to the moon. Well, we've had some messages come in while we were doing the adverts there. One from Charlotte just put, well said, Mickey. Totally agree. Mr. Lukes, but we have a chance to get some points against Torquay and Aldershot. Two sides doing bad. Staying up will be equal to the club's achievement last season. I completely agree with that. County, you've got to remember how small we are in the context of this league. Yes, we're full time, but we're not paying massive wages. Yeah, this is the thing. We're not playing Football Manager. This is real life. Yeah, this is lads trying the hardest to live their dream and pay their bills. Right, we've got Mr. Luke. Will Harris is starting to get the hang now. 2 goals in 2 games. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. I know that I've seen a lot of people around saying about Plan B and things like that, but I think that also goes down to the amount of players we've had injured as well, because me and Mickey had a conversation through the week and over the weekend, and on about effective Plan Bs of what we would think if we were manager. And for me, it would be how we used to play when a few seasons ago, and we had 5 at the back, but obviously we haven't got that many defenders to do that. 5 at the back on the road, 4 at the back at home. That would be my way of doing things. But I don't see the players in training that throughout the week. There's a lot of levels to this thing, but that's how I would go for it myself. But say it's about players that's available and things like that. But Mickey, we've seen a lot of things where people saying Plan B. What would you do?
I mean, how do I say this? We do all play in the same way, week in, week out, regardless if it works or not. I can see where fans are coming from on that. Do something different, change the formation. Maybe, I mean, did Martin start on Saturday? I don't know. If Martin doesn't, why isn't Martin starting from the start? For me, he's one of him and Campbell and Harris are seemingly coming into form, so you play them 3. If Lewis Knight's fit, then you put Lewis Knight in as well when he's fit. But you've got so many injuries and no one getting called back. That's why people are getting frustrated, Davey. Mm-hmm. It's not a case of yes, the results are a sickener, especially if you spend X amount to go to Yeovil. The one thing I will never level at them lads on the pitch, even though I didn't listen to the game on Saturday, they never give up.
No.
And they wear the shirt with pride. That's the one thing I will level at them lads. They would never give up. And for people to say that they give up, yeah, they mightn't have been good on the day, but they'll never give up. They've got more pride than that.
I mean, let's put it. I mean, I did look at the league table during the game. I wasn't able to listen to it live, but you know, while we were winning 1-0 for that short period, we were out the relegation zone. It's that tight at the moment. It's that tight, and you know, dare I say, if 3 wins in the next 5 games, we could be sitting there going, well, you know, we're out of that and doing all right now. Ifs and buts, I know. We've got a message here from Christopher Story. He's put, I wouldn't sack Mike. I think the players are still playing for him. Always tough when you lose your best 2 players and hampered by injuries. He's a young manager and he's still, he's a young manager and this is his toughest spell yet. Of course,
exactly.
You know, it's what we've got to go through. You know, I understand people's frustrations and that's why we want you to have it out, say it, get it out in the open. Let's have a discussion. Everyone there. There's lots of messages coming in, but we know there's other people watching. Send your messages in. You know, this is what it's all about. Right. Let's see. We've got another one here. 1 second. Oh, sorry, 1 second. At least we have a club at the end of the day. That's all I'm happy about. And I know there's a lot of mockery when people say that. You know, and I don't think people grasp the whole picture of yes, it is. I'd rather that we have the club and that we're struggling in the National League than sitting in the Wearside League still, where we could have possibly been if we had to reform a club. So yeah, it's, you know, and these aren't dark days. These aren't dark days by any stretch of the imagination.
Dark days is when you leave. I can tell you, dark days.
Yeah.
When Gates weren't good enough for it was the Unibond League, and you went up. Wasn't the National League North then?
Yeah, bunch of pace.
Win the league one season and go up the next season, we'll be getting beat 6-0 off Barnet, 4-0 off Welland, 3-0 off Northwich Victoria, all at home.
Yeah.
9 against Sutton. That's dark days, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Right, just having a look about. Well, I have got this to put up as well. We'll have a little side swerve at the minute from talking about what we've been talking about. I'll get the pictures up here. This is happening on Saturday before the game. The Gated Food Bank will be at Gated International Stadium before the game against Southend. They're looking for donations at the turnstiles 3 and 4, which is obviously the ones near the cafe area. Sugar, milk, UHT or powdered. Tinned meat and fish, noodles and coffee. So if you can do your bit, that would be absolutely fantastic. I know that they've been very well received in the past, and Gated fans have done their bit. So if you can help out on Saturday, please do. Please do.
Nappies and sanitary towels as well.
Yeah, as I say, anything that you can think that'll help, please do. As long as it's not fresh stuff, it needs to be stuff that can be stored and given to be used for people in need. And also as well, there is this charity game for Thomas that unfortunately passed away not so long ago. I believe there's over 500 tickets sold for this game already. I think it's £2 a ticket. So if you think you can get down there on Sunday or even just buy a ticket to help out if you can't make it, but I think that'll be a lovely occasion, and well done to everyone that's involved in that, getting involved in everything there. So let's hope that's a lovely celebration of a young man gone too soon. So there we go. So if you fancy any of them things, please do. If you're just joining us, we have been talking about Luke Daly and Jevon Mills. Their loan deals have ended. You can still send in messages about that if you think will Gateshead go out and bring in some more loans, or will they go for a more experienced player on loan? After all, it's that point of the season where players start to get frustrated that they haven't been involved. Also, we'll say if you were at the Yeovil game, let us know. We weren't able to listen to that one, but obviously there's been a bit of fallout afterwards. So if you'd like to give us your thoughts and views on that, please do. As we mentioned there's the food bank before the game, and there's a quiz night on with the Gated Foundation, Dave Allen doing the quiz, and that is at Gated Bowling Green on Friday, the 18th of November, at the end of this week at 7:30. So if you want to get along with that, we'll mention them again very, very soon. And as I say, we've said in the past about people having a say, and I don't know if I come across that we shut people down about, if they're not happy with the management or players or whatever. At no point do we say don't talk about it. This is what the show is here for. Get your views out, put it there, put it in a constructive manner. Don't make it a personal assault on anybody. We have to emphasize that. But put your what's your gripe? What's your thoughts? Get them out there, and we'll talk about it. That's what this show's about. We're not doing the bells and whistles. We're not doing videos of highlights and things. We're having a proper discussion. This is your chance. I know there's people watching. I can see the numbers. Send in your messages, because there's so many who'll do it on social media, and say we could troll through, because that is our forum after all. But I don't want to bring up people's thoughts and views after the fact. I'd like to hear your thoughts and views now, and I think that would be a good time to do it. Mickey said the league is very, very tight at the bottom. A couple of wins does get us out. And you just got to, as I mentioned before, if people are just joining us, we're just hoping that people can, what do you call it? Just get back fit. That's the thing. So
that's it. I can understand people's frustrations. Yes, we're bottom of the league. And, with the greatest respect to Yeovil and Scunthorpe, there were two games I thought we could possibly either get a draw or a win, and we've lost both.
Same scoreline.
Yeah.
It's very similar things happened. Both went in front in both games, conceded, and I don't want to say. I don't want to.
1-2-1, I think.
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought it was 3-1 both. Don't want to cast aspersions, because I wasn't there, didn't get to listen to it, but it sounds like the heads dropped when the equaliser went in. I may be wrong, but just going to have to say, right, we've got messages coming in here. We've got a few from Ginger Joe. Williamson has got us up. His job is to keep us up. Simple as that, really. Evident the problem is the lack of goal scoring. Our defence has conceded 32. The likes of Barnett, who are 7th, have conceded 38. Daggers in 11th place has conceded 34, amongst others. 28 matches left, all to play for. 12 to 24 is 11-point gap. That's how tight it is. That's how tight it is. And when you look at that, I know that you'd probably say Barnett are the entertainers in the league at the minute, because you score 3, we'll score 4, but they're still conceding. That's what I'm saying. If we score the goals, we can get out of this. Right, tight. Just need a run. Cheers from the West Peterborough lads. Thank you very much. And Mason, we should go out for another experienced head up top. For example, like JJ Hooper. Well, JJ Hooper hasn't really set the world light 2 divisions below, and his career has went from top to bottom. It's went in one trajectory. I don't want to mock the lad or anything. He's probably made a nice bit of money from football, but when we want to look for players of the level of players going up, in my view, we've had too many of the journeyman strikers over the years, as I've been a Gateshead fan. Would you agree on that, Mickey?
We've had many, some for the better and some for the worse. What I wouldn't do for a Keith Scott right now. There's a name for how far take myself.
There is one there. So keep them messages coming in. Hey, if you've got your thoughts and views, we know you've all got them. Send them in, and say it should be good. Of course, we look around the team, and one player that didn't look to have a great start. You could see his confidence was low. Will Harris. He scored 2 decent goals, in the past 2 games. I see there's a calm finish for the one against Yeovil. I've seen it on the highlights. It's a nice finish. Well done to Jack McGragan. He always gets some good behind the goal shots, doesn't he, on that dead ball line.
Goals, to be fair, mate.
Nice finish, a calm, composed finish. Gets in front of the defender and slots it home. So yeah, it's just got to let's have some faith. That's what we're going to do.
It's nice to see we'll get some goals. I must admit.
There's a young lad. He's probably lacking in confidence because he went from, what was a championship club when he left there, that, when they got promoted in Sunderland, hoping that he'd probably make it into the first team, and then he's been released and he's having to start again. So hey, it's a stressful thing. I think we should bring back Alan from Spennymoor. I think we are short defensively, and I'm worried about that also. I do think a change of formation might be needed. Well, say I'm sure all these things have been looked at, but you talk about a change of formation. I don't think you could really do much at the minute because you haven't got that many more defenders to put in. I think putting less defenders in there wouldn't be the greatest idea. So,
but
if you want to
so, I mean, there goes the argument, David. There goes bringing back the loans.
Yeah.
There's 2 loans there. Elliot Forbes, Ryan Womble. Yes, they're playing the league below, but they've been playing games, so they're match fit. I know you can say, well, is Elliot Forbes ever going to be match fit?
Well, I presume they're still training with the team.
Yeah, I mean, Elliot Forbes for me is an absolute Rolls Royce of a footballer.
Yeah, well, he's trying to get minutes under his belt down at Spennymoor, so hopefully that's paying dividends for him. We'd like to think so. Would be nice to have Elliot firing back on all cylinders. Of course, we were missing Ollie on Saturday as well through injury, which is another blow. You'd hope that he'll be back soon and isn't something too serious, because we don't want them injuries creeping further up the midfield and into the attackers. But that's it's got to be a loss as well. But yeah, just frustrating. And as I've said, keep them messages coming in. That's what we want to do. We want to hear from you. If you have your gripes, have your grievances, get them out. Come on, get them out. This is what it's about. It is frustrating. We are bottom of the league, but we're not cast adrift by any stretch of the imagination. And things can change very quickly. So let's hope they can. But
I'm going to play devil's advocate here, Dave. You have to.
Yeah.
Unless people are going to say we're just seeing it from our point of view.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm asking for people to send in the messages.
Yeah, I've read what people are saying. Blah blah blah. People are saying Mike's making a rod for his own back by sticking with the same formation, not bringing loans back, which I can certainly see where they're coming from, but we don't know the terms and conditions of the loans.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for all I know, Spennymoor could have said, right, we'll keep him till such and such, we'll pay his wages till such and such.
Mm-hmm. And there's no recall.
There's no recall. So, yeah. I mean, we could be saying one thing, but this is where I've said to you off air, I think it's time where Mike, Busted, Rob call a meeting and clear the air with the fans. Let the fans vent.
Mm-hmm.
Let them put their side of the story. As long as it's done in a respectful manner, I can't see what's wrong. Because I think at the minute, I think it's bordering on 50-50 with the fans. Yeah, I mean, that's my opinion.
I mean, I must admit, I've tried to stay away from any negativity. I
haven't commented on any. I have read it though.
Just for my own sanity, I have read it. I read parts of it. I try not to get into it. I always try to keep an optimism. I don't think it's all doom and gloom. Of course, there's thunder clouds above because of the situation, results. And to me, I think we've just had an awful run of bad luck. I'm not talking about on the pitch. I'm talking about off the pitch with injuries and what's hampered what we've been able to put out on the pitch as the strongest lineups and things like that. So, for a small squad of, and I know people say it's quite big on the back of the program, but there's players out on loan. But for the players for this league that we have is quite small, and when you've got like 6, 7, 8 players nearly at one point, I think it was out, it's just it's grim, and it's hard to look past it, and I completely understand why people are frustrated, but I bet you who's just as frustrated will be Ian,
players in the management,
Mike, Rob, Louis, They absolutely live and breathe it. Don't be fooled. We've just got to see how it pans out. But I know people go, "Oh, I hate the phrase. We've still got a club." We have, but if we go back down and we're still competitive, and who knows? If I'm not saying we're going to go down, but we come back stronger because we know more about they know more about the league. I think in this day and age, we're too free and easy with sacking players, sacking managers at every level. I think no one's got a chance to really embed themselves, at a certain level. So, but I want to know your thoughts and views because, as Mickey said, don't want it to come across as our thoughts and views, and we're trying to implant that on people. Want to know yours? Get them out. That's what we want. And we've got a message here. Two people actually brought up the FA Trophy. Anyone bothered about a trophy run? Personally, not really. It'd be nice if if it coincided with league form, of course. FA Trophy draws coming up round 2 this weekend, so I think that'll be Monday the draw. So we'll find out. Sorry, I've just come on. Hope you are both all right. We are, and Liv, if you and anyone else that's just joined us, that's what we want. Want to hear from you. Let us know your thoughts at the minute. Yes, things might seem glum, or you might think it's worse than that, and you want to change or whatever. Give us some constructive criticism. Give the club constructive criticism because they do watch. Don't be fooled. Players and management watch. Whether it's fleeting or the full thing, they'll want to gauge how the fans are. So come on, let's have your say. Have your say. And that's the way it is. And I might sound like a broken record, but I'm trying to get you to put your messages in. Right. Right. We could have beaten Solihull. Martin had 2 decent chances. Harris won, just lacking a bit of quality. Yeah, and I think that goes with confidence as well. It's just unfortunate. It's frustrating against Solihull. Why weren't you able to listen on Saturday? I had the children, so that's why
I was busy doing something a bit more personal to me, which I'm going to keep to myself.
Yeah. We've got
Family
here with Yeovil. I think it didn't help with the new manager bounce. Of course, yeah, they've got new management down there, and you always see clubs that have that kind of bounce. I honestly can't understand this mentality of people wanting people who achieved miracles last season. There's plenty of football still to play. There is a lot of football to play, and also as well, we said at the beginning of the season, if we stay up by on goal difference, or God forbid another club goes bump or goes into administration, I'll take it. I'll snap your hands off now. I want to survive at this level, see the club grow, and from day one when we got promoted, if we can stay up, great. Yes, we had a little bit more confidence before Macaulay Langstaff and Kedwin Scott left. Why not? We're goal scorers like that. But look, life goes on, and we have to move on as well. And this is the predicament we're in. This is the squad we've got, and we've got to get behind them. In my point of view, what's your point of view? So send them in. We've got one here. Not long ago, not we're after Mike. Exactly. There'll still be people looking at Mike. The people look at more than just the bigger
just
picture.
this season.
Yeah, they look at the bigger picture.
Hartlepool could have got Mike in the summer.
Well, I'm led to believe there was a few clubs that were after him. You make your own luck. Process is all that said. It's time to look how. It's time to look at how teams can hurt us instead of sticking to the process and hopefully hurt them. Quite clear, it ain't working. It's blood and guts needed in a fight. Yeah,
Couldn't agree more, John.
Mm-hmm. We can still have our brand of football, but we're going to have to dig deep and a little bit dirty, I think, at times. I'm not saying sive people down, but we're going to have to stand up and be counted. Stand up against people. And,
in a relegation fight, you've got to scrap. You've got to make yourself hard to beat. You've got to make yourself what is possible. And are we too nice? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, they're all nice lads and they're all battle, but you need one of them scarred midfielders, don't you, in there just to shore it up.
Or
Yeah,
someone like that.
But David Tron, I think we need to bring in a couple of loans to replace Mills and Daly. I do think a small squad, you need players that can play in a couple of different positions. Yeah, totally agree with that. So it'll be fantastic. Right. Still, we've got lots of people there. As what we mentioned before, if you all just joined us, there is a lot of people that have just come on. I see, I've just had the message there in Jevon Mills and Luke Daly. Their loans have ended and they've returned to Hull and Huddersfield respectively. We've got the Southend game, which I haven't talked about yet, on Saturday. There's a food bank before the game as well. We'll talk about that again. And also there's a quiz night and a charity game on Sunday. So lots to talk about. So come on, get involved. And as I say, you know what to do.
Hello everybody. Remember to like and subscribe and share the show.
Please do share the show. And once again, apologies that we weren't on Thursday night. Of course, I just realised before we went live, I looked at the description. It says we're previewing Yeovil, and unfortunately, we're past that game now. We were going to try and have the lads on from the Glover podcast to join us. Glover, sorry, not Glover. But they're watching another game tonight. I think it's one that involves them in a county game. I think it was an FA Cup game along the road. So yeah, and we did reach out to Southend. I forgot the name. Forgive me, but they couldn't make tonight. But we may. Who knows, if anything happens through the week or we sign any players, we might do a show later in the week if we can. If not, we'll try and get them on post the game on Sunday. Sorry, what was it? I am seeing 5 people down. Yeah. Well, you know.
Have we got any players like that? I'm not really sure we have.
No, we haven't seen one of them tackles since the Richard Flynn days. I used to dive in them. Oh, yeah. I like a good chomping tackle. As long as they win the ball and send the bloke 50 foot in the air, it's great. And, what's cartilage and blood between friends? So... but obviously looking forward to Saturday. They're in 5th place, but there's a lot of turmoil off the pitch at Southend. I'm hoping, the cynic in this is thinking, well, will they carry that forward, because there's a threat of administration there, isn't there?
I'm not sure, to be honest, Dave.
I think so. Yeah, I might be wrong. I might be one of the other clubs, but
I did see him against Notts County and were excellent. We've got some quick players up there.
They've got a striker that I love. He was a Charlie Cardwell. I think he's a fantastic striker.
He's strong, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I think they've got Mooney down there, the ex-Altrincham one who stuck his fingers up when he got the equaliser for Altrincham.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't know if he's fit or what, I'm sure he'll get a lovely warm reception if he is.
Oh yes, a lovely warm reception on Tyneside. Someone's put let's see, oh dear, our friend Dan Mooney plays for them. Yeah. It's it's going to be tough. They're all tough games, but we've proved, in the past, as earlier on in the season, I know we had a more of an array of players available, but we give games to Notts County and Wrexham. So we've proved we can do it against the big boys. We just need to dig deep on Saturday and grind it out. Even a point is better than nothing at the minute.
It's getting to that point where we need to start getting wins, Davey.
It is, and also can I just say as well, World Cup starting, obviously. There isn't any Premier League games this weekend. Get that crap off. Look, it's the last time I really supported England. That should. Let's try and get as many people as we can there. It's live football, and we just say we need these people there. And just looking here, apparently Southend have sold over 300 tickets to the Gateshead game. So they're bringing up a good contingent. We need a contingent in that home end, making as much noise and getting people involved. I know it goes without saying, try and drag your friends, cousins, workmates, get them along to this game. This is important. We need a good backing behind this team. It's not the time to get on the backs. This is the time to get behind them. There was also many willing to go down to Chorley that hadn't been to games all season. We need to get them people back for the games tomorrow. So it'll be good. But It's what we need. We need people there.
Hopefully, well, Newcastle and Sunderland are playing with the World Cup break off. Hopefully, we'll get a few in.
It'd be nice to get a little bump, wouldn't it? Of in the
Excellent.
crowds from that.
We definitely need it.
It'd be nice as well if the local media showing interest as well. If TNTs or anyone like that should send a camera. So there's a challenge to TNTs and BBC. Are they going to actually get off the backsides and cover some of the non-league games during this time when the big boys aren't involved?
I watched the results here on a couple of Saturdays ago, and not one of the conference teams went to Harrogate, and didn't even mention York ourselves in the National League.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's frustrating. It is frustrating. I had hoped when we got promoted we might have got a little bit more attention, but there you go. It is where it is. We know where it is in the northeast, and I'd imagine there'll probably be more cuts in local media and radio because you're not even going to get anything from Metro. They don't. I think they only have one show broadcast from the northeast. That's a breakfast show. Everything else is national.
I know total sports staying on over even with the international break. So
yeah, well, hopefully we might get a bit more from there. That would be great. I mean, always try and cover us, but it's up to the fans to get in contact with that show as well, because they'll only talk about it if there's a demand for it. Any idea why the York game got moved? I can only surmise that they had a TV game beforehand, a couple of days before or after. Maybe, I don't know. But because that should have been home on New Year's Day, shouldn't it? On the Sunday. So now it's on the Monday on the 2nd. So I had hoped that it might have been a case of we were going to be on TV or the game was moved for TV, but I don't think so. I don't think they're not going to come up here on New Year's Day if they're not going to come on a wet November's night, are they? Right. Before we forget, we'll mention these things again. There is the charity game for Thomas. Let's say £2 a ticket, I believe it is. I think there's over 500 tickets. That was last week. I heard 500 tickets, so there might be even more now. So get down to that. Even if you can't, why not buy a ticket? And as I say, that'll be should be a great celebration. Memorial match there. And of course, on Saturday before the game, Gateshead Food Bank will be at Gateshead International Stadium near turnstiles 3 and 4. Thereafter, urgent items that include sugar, milk, whether it be UHT or powdered, tinned meat and fish, noodles and coffee. So, as I say, it's the type of things that can be preserved, so to speak. Your dried stuff. They don't want fresh. They don't want bananas or things like that. They want stuff that can be stored and distributed with ease without worry of it going off. So that would be amazing if you could get involved and help that way. We've also got a quiz night with the Gateshead FC Foundation. Dave Allen, of course, if you're familiar to the quizzes, you know he's a good quiz master. That is on Friday, the 18th of November, this Friday, at 7:30 at the Gateshead Bowling Green, just over the road from the Gateshead Civic Centre. So get yourselves involved.
Davey, I think what you've got to do with that, though, is go on the Gateshead Foundation and reserve your tickets.
Yes, so do check the Gateshead FC Foundation pages either on Twitter or Facebook, and you'll get or even on the website, I believe, and get your full information there on that one.
I think the soup and sandwiches on as well.
Yeah.
So homemade soup and ham and homemade peas pudding sandwiches. So
there we go. You didn't get any better than that. Hi lads, hope you're well. Looking good, both of you as well. Oh, thank you very much. This is going to be hard, but I haven't been away because I'm not in a good place at the moment mentally, and we have to keep the face. Well, I hope you're doing well, Caroline, and just got to stay well as we've got a message there from Ginger Joe as well. So remember, Caroline, dark days do feel like they're going to be here forever, but they're not. And everything can be worked out with a chat. So please do reach out to family and friends on that one. We've got a message from Sam Pelt. Evening, gents. Disappointing result against Yeovil. However, the performance against Stevenage has given me hope. And something I want to touch on as well. That gives us hope that, when we rallied, we did look good. And I think we should continue to back Mike and Ian. We will get it right. We've got Darren Walden. As the World Cup is on and Newcastle not playing, why don't we ask for Almiron Joe Linton on loan for a month to help out, bring the crowds up as well? Well, to be honest, we need defenders, man. We don't need that. You're telling me Almiron's going to get in front of Greg Ollie? Shut up.
Let's take was it Kursnash asking for?
Yeah, and then I believe Blythe today.
And Haaland.
No, they were after. Sorry, I just said the word Blythe. They were after Cristiano Ronaldo today. They put a one in they'd offer a pie and a pint of lager. That was original. So yeah, so that's that. But yeah, and say, well, if they're gonna lend us a couple of centre backs to help shore up the back, we'll take that. But no, let's see. We'll see what happens. But say we've got about 10 minutes left. Let's say, do you think Gateshead will bring in a loan or maybe even two loans to replace Jevon Mills and Luke Daly? Are you going to the Southend game on Saturday? If you are, can you bring some food for the food bank? And as I say, we'll go for predictions on Saturday as well. But Mickey, as I say, we've banged the drum. We want people to get their thoughts and views out there. A lot of people have. They've sent in the messages, but there's still time to do it. There has been a lot of hoo-ha. If you're just joining us on the show now, people say the reason we're pushing it is because this is the forum to get it out, talk about it with us, and as I say, we don't ever want it to be is that we're drumming out the thoughts you should have. We want to know your thoughts. There has been a lot of people maybe not fully behind the management at the moment, which for me, I'm not of that way of thinking. But this is the time to get it out. Come on, because we've got to move forward and get past it and push on. Is my thoughts. You know what I mean? I'd rather back the team than get on their back. There we go. I seen the Yeovil highlights. Harris Gould was very good. It was. We talked about it before. His prediction for Saturday is 1-1. Liv Walden has said 2-1. We've got get Dan Burn on loan. Great wall of him. He's a Spartan, man. And I've never forgiven him for that when he played against Dalton in that semi-final. Didn't like. I'm like an elephant. I didn't forget. I've got big ears and I'll tiny trunk. So have you heard about Ashton United saying Haaland during the break? Yeah, I've seen that. It's quite funny, but your new teams would copy, so it's not the greatest banter once you've seen it once. 2-1 says Mr. Luke. Mickey, what's your prediction?
I'm going to try and remain positive, and I will say a fluky 2-0.
Fluky 2-0. I'm going to go for a hard-fought 2-2 draw. I think there's going to be goals in this. I think we're starting to find our feet in front of goal. But it's going to be a tough one. But I prefer a 2-1 win. But just the part of us says a draw. If we can get a win on Saturday, confidence will be lifted, and hopefully we can go on a run. Of course, that's what it's all about. You see the lads on social media; they're still, trying to keep jovial and the team bonding. They're still in it together. They're not arguing with each other. We just got to back them. And no one said it was going to be easy. Nobody said it would be easy. Yes, when we went up, confidence was high because we had a full team to build on, and transfers happened, things happen, club goes forward, and that's what it happens to every club. Look at, just 20 odd years ago now, Newcastle lost Andy Cole, and they thought it was the end of the world. Yet little did they know they were going on to bigger and better things. You've got to.
Sellers and Alan Shearer turned up.
Yeah, well, look, football's like life; it always moves forward. There's always great memories, and we've got that. But we just got to look forward at the minute, and that's my thoughts at the minute. But we want to know yours. We're still on for another 5 minutes off. 5-10 minutes. If you want to get your message in, if you're not happy with the situation, let it be said. Come on, let's put your name to your thoughts. That's what I ask.
Definitely.
So yeah, see, we're up here. We've got our faces on camera, and we don't pull any punches. If we're not happy, we're not happy. But hey, tough times, but it's not as tough as some things. You know what I mean? So
I'd
yeah,
much rather be in this position than sitting. Was it 3-4 years ago?
I was going to say I'd much rather be in this position than on all fours in a Mexican show. Right, a big donkey.
Oh,
Live
Callum's
on.
underpants being dragged out the office.
Oh, you would love to have a smell of them when I got hot on the radiator.
No,
Keep calm and carry on, says Liv. Yeah, look, there's no panic stations yet, and hey, just gotta keep moving forward. And I know people said they're sick of the process, but this is the process of football. You've got to adapt and overcome. We've got Ginger Joe has put all the clubs still doing discounts for NUFC and SAFC's season ticket fans. I don't think so, because that I think it kind of undercuts and under demoralizes. I don't try to think of the word, but it doesn't do much for the hardcore fan. That other people are being rewarded for supporting other clubs. And Darren has put probably the best comment of the night. Could be worse. Could be Blythe Spartans. It could be exactly.
Yeah, well said, damn
it. On a side note, anyone know what Calla is doing now?
I hope he's breaking up rocks in a jail somewhere.
No, I'm just going to decline the comment.
A nice new friend who calls him darling when he climbs into his bunk.
Hello, darling.
Something along them lines, yeah.
Kiss me on the mouth. I feel romantic. You might be listening. But you might be listening in. But yeah, somehow I doubt it. But yeah. Well,
if he is Calla, you're still an arsehole.
Well. Well, hang on. We've got a couple of messages in here. Mike and Ian have worked wonders the last few years with the squad. Like Mickey says, we've moved forward massively from where we were 4 years ago. I've got a massive faith. Make it right in the National League is a hard league. I've heard many opposing managers say that we're in a false position. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, optimism is fine. It's optimistic that the club will treat the fan. Oh, right. We'll see what happens with everything that goes on with that. Yeah. Right. I looked into Calla briefly, couldn't find anything new on him. Well, let's hope it stays that way. As long as he's safe and sound and not bothering a football club, that's right by us. Yeah. Right. On that note, we're going to end it there. And we'll see you probably next week. We'll get back to the Thursday night slot. Obviously Saturday for the commentary for the game against Southend. And remember, if you are going along on Saturday, try and do the food bank in Gated Foundation, working with the Gated Food Bank. They want, I'll put it back up again on the screen. Pardon me. They'll want sugar, UHT, milk or powdered, tinned meat, fish, noodles, coffee. So any of your dry things, really. Obviously, hey, even just one thing goes a long way to helping somebody. So please,
especially nappies and women's hygiene things. Definitely.
Yeah, toothpaste, deodorants. Yeah. So also as well, the game for Thomas on Sunday as well. If you can get along to that, it should be absolutely a good event. And hopefully they can have a lovely afternoon and some good football on display. I'm sure there will be. Mickey, thank you very much as ever. It's been a pleasure. As I said, we've given everyone their chance to put their side out there. The thoughts on what's going on at the moment. And we've got a couple of messages there. We've got thanks, lads. We've got Emily's put we get knocked down, but we get up again. Or Chumbawamba, isn't it? That's a song that came out too. Yes, there we go. Well, on that note, we're going to say goodbye to everybody. Have a safe week, and remember, keep the faith. And a couple of wins, and we're out of it.
Keep the faith and get behind the lads. It may get crap, but it's war crap.
It is,
So
exactly.
keep behind him.
Definitely. Right, we'll see you later.